Welcome to Six Rings and Counting. I'm your host, Cory Idle, and joining me for about the third time today because of technical difficulties, my friend, Mr. Lou Willard. Lou, how are your patients holding up?
Look, my patients are doing great. I may just have to drive up there and pay you a visit, take you out for a cup of coffee, have a little conversation, calm you down. But I do wish we had an outtake show because this is literally, we got 3 to 4 minutes away from finishing the show the first time before it all collapsed and erased.
Yep.
This is the third time tonight we've started this one, and the first two have fell off. So hopefully we can get through this one. And what we're doing today, before Cory loses his mind, last week Cory was able to get on here and did a fabulous show. Applause to you. Or he did a great draft for Pittsburgh, did the simulator. We're going to do that this week, except I'm going to do it. And I'm doing mine with a different spin to it. I'm doing it as if the Steelers are trading up to 8 and hoping Shador falls to them since they seem to love him. And it puts a different spin on it. It's auto set, so it's going to auto draft. It's everything except the Steelers. I'm going to pick the Steelers, and then we're going to discuss the Steelers picks. So if he comes off the board first, then I guess I better get to making adjustments at 8. It's pretty much that simple. So We're not going to sit around waiting to see who did what. So just so we can get through the thing in a timely fashion and keep Mr. Idle from, losing his mind.
I need a lot of pie right now. I need all the pie. That's all I can say. I'm done. Anyway, let's get this started. Lou said he was making a trade. He did make a trade with the Carolina Panthers to move up to 8. We ended up having to trade the first round pick of ours, which was 21. The third round pick that we had, which means we don't have another pick now until the 4th round. And we had to trade away a second round for next year. In return, we got the 8th pick from Carolina, and we got the their 5th round pick.
Yep, so, which is banking on getting the quarterback. And you trade that much, I understand, guys. If he's not there, whoa, I am in a big pickle. I better hit every other draft pick and start hoping. If he is there, he's taking the first snap, first game of the year. It's that simple. But that's what makes these mocks fun and these shows fun. So this ought to be a good experiment. I kind of hope he's not there just to see what we do.
Oh, Lord, you're going to drive me insane if that happens. Let's get the show on the road. The trade has already been made. We are starting this draft on auto pick, as Lou said, for everyone but the Steelers, and away we go. Cam Ward has gone first. That's the most accurate it's been. And we're up to Pittsburgh. Abdul Carter is still on the clock.
Wait a minute. Come on. Come on. See, this is what I'm talking. But you don't give all that up to get an edge rusher. We're taking Shador.
Yep. And in real life, let's face facts. This pick of Abdul Carter is going to be worked out with either New Orleans or Chicago. So it's all going to balance out for our purposes. In real life, though, we know he's gone. The great news, though, Shador is here. Let's rock and roll.
And besides that, Carter's not getting past the Browns at 2.
No. There's no chance. There's just no chance of that happening. We are flying through this. I'm seeing some fun names go off the board. A lot of receivers are starting to disappear. I saw Jalen Milroe gone from Alabama. That was pretty quick. We're almost out of the second round.
Yeah. So what's funny is when you get in situations like this, when you take a young kid, we need receiver help, but we also need defensive linemen. We just have to ride with the corners we got with Slay, Porter, and Trice and help somebody else step up. But we got to get some DLs. It wouldn't hurt to have a linebacker too. I went back and looked at that. We do need a linebacker. But you got to get this kid weapons. So hopefully there's still some weapons on the offensive side of the ball. A nice running back that can control the clock, along with Jalen Warren. If we can find another good receiver till we find somebody else that could step up besides Pickens and DK. So he'll have weapons, but I'll say we need one more running back, some D linemen, and possibly a linebacker. And if we can get a decent corner, get one. but I wouldn't go reaching for one because we have two starters and we have our nickel guy. We need backups is what we're going to need in that spot.
All right, let's take a look at what we have here. We're on the clock. Shedeur Sanders was our first pick. We are now in the 4th round, pick 123.
Okay.
Deion Walker's there from Kentucky. He is our suggested pick. Ty Robinson, D lineman out of Nebraska, is also there as a pick.
What we looking at cornerback?
At the cornerback position, our man Dorian Strong is still there. He is great value. We're picking 123. He's ranked 106 overall.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and go D line here.
Okay.
Or wait a minute. Receivers. Let's see receivers. I don't think there's going to be great value at receiver here yet. No, not even close.
Nope. Receiver, we missed out on everybody in that 2nd and 3rd round.
Yeah, not even close. And that's fine. So we're going to go D line and get us a guy that's going to that we know that's going to be on the field, and we're going to go with Deion Walker.
All right, Deion Walker.
He's been playing against those big offensive linemen. In the SEC, tough conference. I know everybody says SEC, whatever, tough conference, just like the Big Ten is. So what we got here?
Little trade action.
I'm gonna reject it because I don't want to take anything that's pushing us into next year's draft.
That's it.
Yeah. Nope. So
Tennessee's offering a little juice.
So they just want to switch spots and give us another pick. I'll take that. Let's see what the other ones are first. You can go to the arrow.
We only have 2.
Oh, you only had 2? Okay, go ahead and accept that one.
All right.
And then that way it gives us another pick this draft.
Oh, now the Eagles want to give us 2 more 5th round picks.
Rejected.
Yeah. Holy shit, the Cowboys just threw everything at us. We don't want your trash, though, Dallas.
And it's all next year's stuff anyway.
That's it.
So let's see here.
So we have so far an A+ pick at quarterback at 8 with Shedeur Sanders. In the 4th round, 123, we picked Deion Walker, who was an A+ pick for us. Now, our best available option, they're suggesting we take Lathan Ransom out of the Ohio State University safety.
You know I love that pick. Go ahead and grab that.
Yeah, that was done. Why would you take a safety there?
Why would I take a safety there? Because we need one, actually. Minka's getting long in the tooth, and if we have another guy to step up, we can possibly get Minka's money off the books after this year. And quite frankly, we do need another safety. I forget the other safety's name. They filled in pretty good, but we got to have guys that this kid comes up and plays the run.
Yeah.
They've been keeping Minka back. They got to get somebody, the other safety, and his name escapes me right now. I apologize. But he's not coming up in there filling the hole good enough for me.
Yeah.
This kid, I've seen him play every game. He's going to come up and put a lick on somebody. His sideline speed isn't that great, but it necessarily doesn't have to be because he's coming downhill on running backs. And Minka's playing deep ball, so he don't have to get deep. He needs to play that intermediate passing game and defend the run, and that's what his specialty is going to be. I don't know if he'll start year 1, which I doubt, but he'll play a lot. He'll get a lot of action.
Dig it. I'll take that any day of the week. We are back on the clock in round 5. Pick 156 there. Geez, they're making these numbers small.
Yeah, they are.
We have you back up, I move forward. Together we have great eyes. Right now, our top pick is Bashul Tutin out of Virginia Tech for running back. He's our top suggested player. For wide receiver, our man Dante Thornton is still there at pick 170.
Still a little early, though.
Cornerback is a very familiar spot if you've been playing Steelers mock drafts recently. This place, you got Za Frazier, which, again, great value. We're picking 156 right now. He comes in at 126, as well as Noel Williams, cornerback out of Cal. He is coming in at 128 overall. So, by and large, picking 156, we do have some good value picks available.
Yeah, I actually like the corner out of Cal because he's seen a lot of different offenses. He's seen teams that sling the ball around. He's had a lot of opportunity to put a lot of stuff on tape,
Mhm.
and we need that other corner. We need that fourth corner. Well, we
Yep.
got our two. We need the third corner because we have a nickel, and we got our slot corner in Trice, unless he can't hold up. But so I would take Noah Williams here
Yeah,
and see what he can do for us.
this is a great insurance policy, I think, for
Yeah,
Corey Trice. And again, you and I are both big Corey Trice believers. We are
yeah.
rooting for this dude to do as good as he possibly can. The problem is he hasn't been on the field long enough to show us what he can do.
There
So
you go.
we got to have an insurance policy. That's
There you
just good
go.
business. All right, Lou,
And
we
that was
are.
a tougher decision because Kobe Bryant was still on the board too.
Mm,
I don't know if you noticed that or not, because he's a guy I like as well. But this kid is rated higher,
yep.
and quite frankly, he's seen better. He's seen the better competition. I think he's seen the better wide receivers. But the Big 12 throws it around too. But this kid's coming across the board ranked higher, so I'll give him a shot. Turn out that they judge it as an A+, but that's just like somebody might have him as a C. Who knows?
That is true. It did come out as an A+ for us, deservedly so, because again, we have the professor drafting for us. This has been crushing it. Now we are at pick 185. We are in the 6th round. Because of the extra trade we made, we have 2 6th-round picks. We're picking 185 and 188. That makes us a little interesting here. Let me ask you, Lou,
Yeah.
before we start looking at players, what are you looking at this point in the draft value wise? Are you expecting special
Where
teams
we at with
guys
these
year
last couple
one?
picks.
Yeah.
If we look at what we've done so far, I believe it's the quarterback, then 3 defensive players, if I'm remembering right. Safety, D line, safety, cornerback. So
100%.
right now, I'm looking to get some offense. Like I already tell you right now, the pick is Holland Pierce. We talked about him earlier with one of the shows that fell apart.
Yep.
Because when you're going to pick this young kid, he's going to play, and we got to make sure that we got some somebody to protect him. And Broderick Jones is tripping. So we don't know if he's going to hold up. If he does, great. That'll give this kid some time to work in.
Hmm.
Um, if he doesn't, then somebody's got to come up and play left tackle. And you got to create competition in that room. So I would take Holland Pierce here out of Rutgers.
And I don't know if you've been paying attention to the Steelers much. I'm talking to the fans, of course, watching the show right now. We seem to lose at least one tackle by like preseason week 2. So having as many of these guys on our roster as we could possibly get at this point is only a good thing.
It's only a good thing. And like I say, you got to create competition, and we got to establish it. Like I like our interior, but I mean we can even use another interior lineman. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if we can find us a good now be the time to try to get good value on a receiver or a running back, unless you plan to trade for one, because they're going to cut Cordero.
Yeah.
Excuse me. If they keep him, it's going to be on the serious cheap,
Mm-hmm.
even less than what he's make. Well, he's in the last year of his little 2-year deal anyway. But they got to get some more playmakers for this kid, or more people to block for him, because they got to find the right line combination. I think they're good at center and both guards, and I think Troy is going to be good at the right tackle, that left tackle spot. You
Yep.
know, Jones or Pierce has to win that spot and protect this young man's blind side, because he
Mm-hmm.
has escapability, but he's not a runner.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. You're not
everybody wants to
drafting
make him
Lamar
a runner.
Jackson.
No, you're not drafting Deion Sanders. You're drafting his son.
Yep.
This kid's a quarterback, and he's going to need time to process down the field. So they're going to have to protect him, and Arthur Smith is going to have to give him routes the receivers can get open.
Yeah.
So
And
now you're at the part of the draft now where we're just trying to steal players. If we could steal players that can get some time. I really, as I talk out of both sides of my mouth, I really don't care what position it is. If it's a steal, get him on your roster. What Belichick
right.
say? We need 53 good football players. We'll figure out where to put them when we get them on camp.
No, 100%. Well, the only thing I would like to put an asterisk on is Shador needing time to process through the reads because we don't use the middle of the field. So he only needs to look sideline to sideline. That's all he needs, and he's fine. Who's got the first step? Throw it. Huck it, chuck it football. That's how we do it these days.
It's going to be a lot of, and he likes to chuck it around, and he's got two good weapons to chuck it to. So that ought to be interesting.
We are back on the clock. Round 6 again. Thanks to our trade, 188. We just picked 3 picks later. Lou lost the interior lineman I know he wanted, being McLaughlin out of Ohio State.
I'll tell you what, again, remember how we talked about picking good players? Give me Coby Bryant. He's still on the board.
I was just going to ask you if you would get another cornerback here or if you would go another defensive lineman in Aeneas Peebles. But I think you're right. Coby Bryant and specifically our defensive backs, that's where we need the depth the most.
That's where we need the help the most.
Yep. 100%. 100%. So Coby Bryant is off the board. We've drafted 3 guys in the secondary, being Ransom out of Ohio State, and then who was it? Noel Williams out of Cal, and Coby Bryant out of Kansas. I am loving this draft so far, Lou.
Because our weakness was getting thrown on. Teams they ran the ball on us, but they didn't run over us.
Right.
If that makes sense. What happens is, though, and we have the defensive lineman to replace Cam. We do need to get another one, but maybe they can make a trade. Maybe somebody steps up. You have guys on the roster that still have to step up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like these guys are the guys that have to come in and start. We're creating competition in the building, and that's what we want. That's why I love the selection of both these corners, because guess what? If one of them really shows out, they start opposite Porter, and you put Slay in the slot.
Exactly.
Dude's in his 30s. You put him in the slot. Now you got Darius Slay covering your slot receiver, and you got the young ones on the outside, and you got the safety back here that we picked up in Minka. So you got the older guys teaching the younger guys. Yep. It's a good setup. So like I would love to be able to pick up. Just have to see who's left. You can go linebacker. You can go skill position. I mean, there's a lot of different places you could go from here.
Well, let's see what we got. I took a sneak peek, and just about every position you've mentioned is available and good value. So let's see what we're playing with. First up, we got available, if you wanted another D lineman, we got Howard Cross III out of Notre Dame, as well as Ty Hamilton out of the Ohio State University. Both available and both good value. We are sitting at pick 229. These guys are all in the 180s we're talking about. If you wanted to go interior line, shore up another guard spot perhaps, you got Joshua Gray out of Oregon State. You have Jalen Lane out of Virginia Tech at wide receiver, as well as Isaac Tesla out of Arkansas.
Arkansas, yep.
And you got your linebacker, Jay Higgins, out of Iowa. Lou, the world is your oyster here. And it is our last pick.
I'm going to be a homer here. I do like Howard Cross. But just being a homer, and since it's a mock, I'm going Ty Hamilton to give us that other D lineman that we do need. Again, create that competition in the room. He's out of the Ohio State University, just like Cam is. Not saying that he won't, work with the other kid. He'll work with anybody. But if you look at this draft, it's all A pluses to the last 2 picks, and they're B pluses.
And those are crapshoots anyway. You're talking the end of the 6th round, end of the 7th round. Who knows what's going to happen there?
I'll tell you what, I do strongly feel like if we save that draft, all of those kids will make the team that they go to. Nobody on that draft is getting cut.
Yeah, let's take a look here.
I know I'm not breaking a limb saying that, going out breaking limbs saying that, but those last 2 picks, if they're going that late in the 7th round, a lot of your 7th rounders get cut or move teams. But whatever team drafts these kids, they'll play for those teams.
Even if, just looking at this is the solid Pittsburgh Steelers draft. You moved up to go get a quarterback only because you have to at this point, mainly because
defense.
Yeah. I mean, this is a Steelers draft, and the only reason you moved up to get a quarterback instead of another receiver, maybe, or something else, is because Ayahuasca Henry's out there in Joshua Tree without a cell phone. He's using a tin can trying to call his agent. It ain't going through. They
Sleeping
got bad
under a
reception these
redwood.
days.
Yeah, they're sleeping under a redwood.
Yeah, you know that's right.
Or on the
Old
Pat
West.
McAfee show, or hanging out with Pat McAfee at WWE events.
Yeah. Don't
But
get
yeah,
me
like
started on Pat McAfee these days.
if this was if he had already signed, we would have did a completely different mock draft. I'd have made a trade after the first round, or I maybe even backed up. Like I told you earlier, off air before we start recording. I did a draft earlier and traded back from 21 to 31 with the Chiefs, and was able to pick up Jackson Dart, Quentin Junkins, and that draft. I think I ended up picking up 10 players, and 8 of them were A pluses, 1 B and a B plus. So I know it's easier here than it is there with all the pressure, and they're not paying me millions of dollars to get it right. So it's a little bit easier to do, but still,
But
I can appreciate the need.
the question is, when have you ever gotten it wrong?
I mean, my mocks are hitting pretty good. They might want to call me. I have not traveled. I have not done the traveling I've done this year, just this year alone since the season ended, for them not to be calling me, asking me who to take in some of these rounds. What else you want me to do? What you want me to do, Corey?
Well, okay. I got to keep it a buck. They have called, but our producer Armando has told them, no friggin' way we're letting this dude go. He's under contract. We're not giving up any draft picks. He's ours. End of discussion. We could have had Shedeur Sanders do 6 rings. We wanted Lou Willard. We're here for the franchise.
Hey, look, if he don't pan out, he probably will do the show in 2 years because he won't be in the league.
Probably. Bubby Brister still won't return my call, so I don't think Shedeur Sanders is reaching out anytime soon.
Hey, look, kid's already a multimillionaire. Kid's already a multimillionaire. But, this draft, like we said, you guys, was based on Pittsburgh trading up because that's all been the latest buzz. And so we thought we'd have a little fun with it, put a spin on it. Odds of them trading up to 8, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Giving up what I gave up is probably out of the realm of possibility, because what they'll do instead of giving up that third is throw a player in. Well, This doesn't allow you to do that. You can't throw players in. You can only trade what's on the board. You can't go throwing players in.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. And before we wrap up here, I do want to let everybody know, next week is the draft. It will be next Thursday. Normally we record on a Wednesday. The show drops on Thursday for everybody. We're going to talk about what we can do Thursday night, either going live or dropping a bunch of shorts and then maybe having a show put out for you on Friday. That way everything is crisp and clean, and we don't have to do a mock draft the friggin' day before the draft.
Yeah.
So unless Aaron Rodgers signs, we'll probably come out with the show on Friday, maybe even Saturday. Try and get a couple rounds in for you. And, hey, never know. We might be going live. If we do, we'll let you know.
Yep, that'll work. Yeah, I mean, if he signs, we'll come on and do one. If not, then we won't worry about it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you right now, if he signs, you will hear screaming coming all the way from Ohio. Because you will have 2 very pissed off Steelers fans shouting to the heavens. But
if he signs, I might have to be his biggest fan because it's got to work. It's got to work. I'm talking about. I'm hoping it works if he signs.
Oh yeah, like I won't root for the man to fail. But also,
I hope he does well. Outside of that, once he step off the field, I don't care.
No. The second that dude throws an interception, it's going to be, I told you so. I told you that's what he was going to do. I will be on his ass all year long.
Oh.
Yep. I hold grudges, and here's the problem. That dude owes me $12 from college. Haven't heard a word from him. Multi-millionaire owe me $12. Well, now he owes me more because of interest.
Interest.
Cheap bastard. But yeah, I'm on you all year, Rodgers. You better not sign with the Steelers. You won't like it.
Oh man,
Lou, you got anything else for the folks out here, or
no,
are we just going to end it with a little light Aaron Rodgers hate?
A little light Aaron Rodgers humor, and I felt we had a good draft. And listen, look, we'll know. A week from tomorrow, we'll know. We'll see what happens.
My favorite part of your draft, and we'll end it with this, is all off season. All I have heard was defense is locked down. We gotta draft offensive players. Have to sign offensive players.
We did.
Lou gets his first chance for a pure Steelers mock draft. We give him everything he wants trade wise,
and I went quarterback.
Go defense heavy.
We went quarterback. We went with a franchise quarterback, and we went with guys to protect him, and then guys to make sure nobody scores on us, so he don't have to do too much. That's what we went with.
What you did was you drafted a team that would allow Mason Rudolph to start a clean 4 games.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. There you go.
All right, everybody. For Lou Willard, the draft master, I am Cory Idle. Not a draft master in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week on 6 Rings and Counting. Real draft edition. That'll be interesting.
Yes,
Take care, everybody.
All right. Be good, guys.